Hi everyone, welcome back to SGDA Student Game Showcase. This is the mini showcase section for today. We're here with Unsent, the team from Clark University. News, if you could introduce yourself and the team.
Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Hello. Yeah, this is Anuj. You guys have seen me a lot today, but I'm here with the team behind Unsent. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Do you want to go first, Max?
Yeah, my name is Max Miller. I'm the lead programmer behind Unsent and for Slimeware Games. And
my name's Alex. I'm the lead producer, and I help with the marketing aspect of Unsent and Slimeware Games. And then our good friend Esau is going to be here controlling the actual game today, and he's just a friend of mine.
Awesome. Definitely feel free to get started whenever.
Yeah, of course.
First, let's see. I think, speaking as somebody who does production as well, hello to a fellow lead producer. We are in the trenches together.
Yes.
Where did the idea for this game come from? How did you guys come up with the genre, story, things like that?
So basically, we are both co-founders of a company called Slimeware, and our third co-founder, who is unable to be here today, is kind of like, this is his brainchild. He came up with this idea based on his previous experiences dealing with letters that he has contemplated sending in his life and then deciding not to send in the end. So he decided to create this really cool, whimsical world about a little guy who has to deliver letters that were unsent, hence the name. We've created a really cool world and place called the Regulatory realm where this exists in. It's a space that governs a lot of the rules of the human world in a pocket subdimension where a bunch of little guys enact all of those different things, such as the Unsentiment Department here, which is where all unsent mail ends up.
Awesome. I really like that idea. I think there's definitely a lot of things that I'm like are in that unsent pile for me as well.
Definitely. I think everybody can relate to it, so that's one of the reasons why we thought this game would appeal to a lot of people. People can just watch it and kind of imagine whether or not they should have sent their letters, and this kind of just brings you back to those memories.
I really like these character designs. How was the process of coming up with those and coming up with the art style in general for the game? Because I feel like this is a very unique looking game for me.
Definitely. So the art style, it started with a general philosophy of make something and then kind of bend it and squish it and like mesh it in a way that makes it not look like the human world. This is a some dimension to the game, so it kind of adds a little more whimsy to it, which was the main goal of the art direction. The three major pillars of our game are fun movement, a very unique art style, and then a very compelling story. So the art style definitely is one of the core aspects of the game that we wanted to put a lot of effort into. Valentine, as you see here, and all of the other characters in the game were made by our really talented 3D character art lead, Ben, who was unable to make it today. But he really put a lot of heart, pun intended, into all of those different characters.
What are some of the prior arts of this game that kind of, in terms of the gameplay? I feel like I'm getting some like Psychonauts vibes in terms of like platformer. Any other inspirations or just what kind of helped make this come to life?
Max, do you want to take this question?
Yeah. We grabbed from a couple different games. I think some of the big ones, like you mentioned, Psychonauts definitely has some inspiration on the art side. Gameplay-wise, we looked a little bit at Banjo-Kazooie, I know in particular, for the collectibles. We offer a couple different collectible systems. We've looked a lot at the 3D Mario titles, Odyssey in particular. We really love the way they do the camera, a lot of their small animations and world details. So we're kind of coming from all over the place. Hat in Time is also another game we looked at extensively, specifically the movement in that system.
It's kind of a compilation of... Yeah, it's a compilation of a bunch of old games that we picked and chose different aspects from to kind of create a very unique experience. So expect to feel a lot of familiar systems in the game, while still being very unique.
I definitely like collectathons are a genre that I feel like is not really explored a lot nowadays. So I appreciate. I see all this and I was like, that's cool. I like this. I grew up after they were. I feel like I played games after they were kind of like not as much in fashion, so I didn't get to play a lot growing up. But I have been getting into them again.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah. So I'd like to dig back a little bit further into the why you made the game about Unsent Mail. If there's any kind of like more details or any anything else that you'd like to share about why specifically Unsent Mail.
Well, Unsent Mail leaves, and especially Unsent Mail was basically a concept that we built off of the Unsentiment Department as being a tedious bureaucracy. Kind of explores a very unique aspect that Unsent Mail can be interpreted in. And it also allows for the main character to deliver letters to people who never receive them, which provides a really strong basis for a very emotional and narrative-driven story. While you won't be able to see the levels that are going into the human world in this demo here, we are working on multiple different levels that you get a letter in the Unsentiment Department and you have to go to the human world and deliver the letter to someone who is experiencing loss or grief or other different emotional states that are not very positive surrounding that letter. So it explores concepts of like closure and release and accepting the past and different things that have happened in your life. If there's anything you want to add to that, Max, please do so.
I think it's a great vessel for the narrative that we want to, like the things he touched on. I think it serves as a great kind of framework for us to deliver a story, because the game is about delivering messages. And that's what we've been able to play off of a lot. So I think that's kind of where the whole idea of unsent letters comes from.
And like we talked about earlier, that is something that like people just have some. Oh no, people have a lot of just feelings and just memories about unsent letters. So that like it both grounds the player and also gives you guys a chance to kind of explore it in a more unique and like novel way through your own story.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Jason, are there any questions that you'd like to ask? If not, I can keep going.
No, I think I'm okay. I'm just admiring, I think, just the level design and just the general environmental artwork. It's pretty nice.
Awesome. Thank you. You saw us struggling over there to make that jump, so just give him.
There's another way to make this jump if you'd like to tackle it that manner. This is the more difficult way, I'd say.
Oh, there's another thing over here. Speaking of Collectathon, how many people are on the team for the game right now?
So currently we have 5 core team members with another 13 contractors and other people working on the project. It started off as a school project, so we worked with a bunch of students as part of a class at our school to make the game. But we recently received some funding, so we moved to a smaller team so that we can complete the game, which we'll release later this year.
Awesome.
But everybody's contribution has, thank you very much. Everybody on the team is absolutely integral. And we would not have gotten this far without every single person who's worked on the project.
The level of polish on this play is really, really high. So, like, kudos to your team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, really, I will say, I quite enjoy the writing of the game.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of our good friends who did all that for us. Yeah.
So you guys mentioned that you're planning for a release this year. Do you have any plans for the future after that release, or are you going to release it and then kind of begin doing your own things?
So we actually got funded by a new company called Red Rabbit Games. We got bought out by them, and they are trying to create an accelerator model. An accelerator model for indie game studios. So we're kind of the test rabbit, so to speak, of that accelerator. So after we release this game, we're going to move on to game 2, which we haven't yet decided. But we are going to move on to a different project and try to maintain momentum to be able to consistently work on new titles without having to worry about contracting or doing crowdfunding in between them.
Right, definitely. How is that process in terms of converting this from a student game to like this actual like published and funded game. I know my favorite game and the reason why I'm at USC Outer Wilds had a similar journey, but how was it like for you guys?
Hard. It's not necessarily hard, but there's a lot of different things you have to realize when you're moving into full-time production. You're not meeting once a week with your team. You have to rely on people a lot more to meet timelines, to be able to get things completed on time. There's a lot of different aspects that we didn't really focus on during the year, since we didn't have to worry about meeting different milestones or exactly finishing everything in one sprint. But right now, we had to do a lot of reorganizing, moving from Trello to Jira, so that we can do some time tracking and kind of learn that side of things, and then keeping all of the information in one place. Some of the struggles that we've had are our product owner and our good friend and our co-founder has the whole idea in his brain, but being able to get all of that information down on paper so that other people can understand the next steps that need to happen has been something that we've successfully been able to do over the past month. But it's taken a lot of time to kind of reorganize ourselves, but we're in a good position now where we can start moving into actual full-time development.
Definitely. I think we're coming up on time a little bit, so I'll just ask for a final question. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or shout out before we wrap up for the day?
Yeah, I want to shout out Esau for playing the game today. He's been doing such a good job. Shout out the entire team. I know that you're going to stick all of their names in the VOD, right? Yeah, we appreciate everybody. Matt and Chris, they're awesome. And then Max, is there anybody else you think we should thank?
I mean, everyone in our families and our friends who have been able to support us. Those long hours, the long nights, who have been able to stick with us throughout the development of the game. I'd like to thank all of them.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having us.
Of course, thank you for coming by. This was Unsent. Keep an eye out on Steam later. It's going to be on Steam.
It is already on Steam.
Perfect.
I can send you a link to our link tree so that we can get all this to you guys.
We'll send it to the Discord. Make sure to wishlist.
Definitely.
Unsent. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
We have a break for now. We'll see you later for the production panel. Adios for now, folks.